Kholat is the first title to be inspired by the Dyatlov Pass incident, a tragic event where back in 1959 a group of experienced ski hikers from the Ural Polytechnical Institute were found dead under mysterious circumstances on Kholat Syakhl. With such a strong premise, Kholat has the potential to become one of the best survival horror games of recent years, but does it manage to take full advantage of its intriguing premise, or does it fall prey to issues that prevent it from reaching its full potential? Let's take a look. Kholat stars an unnamed main character who wishes to learn more about the Dyatlov Pass incident. Not counting the opening cutscenes that detail the incident, the story of Kholat is told in-game with articles and notes from the investigation team. These provide plenty of additional details, and the narration is voiced by one of the most popular British actors, Sean Bean. Mr. Bean's voice acting is as excellent as expected, which contributes greatly in creating a very creepy atmosphere during key points of the game. The rest of the voice acting is just as good, with the actors providing a very solid performance which makes the whole experience feel believable, despite its supernatural and conspiratorial elements. The soundtrack is also very good, with its melancholic feel that serves the game perfectly. Since Kholat's story is mainly told through actual gameplay, players are mostly left on their own to figure out the mystery of the incident up until the ending. While this storytelling style sounds good on paper, the execution leaves something to be desired, because the story bits really feel too far from one another, and they lack any strong impact. The actual tale isn't terribly original, and it features quite a few cliches, so don't expect to be shocked by any of the revelations coming during the final hours of the game. It's a shame that the team didn't manage to create a compelling and gripping story, because there are a few other features that Kholat does well, such as the survival mechanics on which the game is centered. Mechanics that will force players to approach the game in a rather interesting and even somewhat unusual way. For starters, Kholat only features a very short tutorial sequence which teaches players only the very basics. For the rest, you're on your own, and only a few useful tools provided at the very beginning of the game, like the torchlight, a map, and a compass, will make the difference between life and death. Unlike pretty much every other modern game, Kholat doesn't keep track of the player's location on the map, forcing you to actually use your compass and landmarks to find your way. Thankfully, discovered locations and notes are marked on the map, so you're not completely left out in the dark. While proceeding from one location to another, which is done in a completely non-linear way, you'll have to face a variety of dangers such as the anomalies, which are mysterious entities found in specific locations that can kill you with a single touch. These anomalies can be spotted in a few different ways, which involve using the tools creatively. This feature in particular highlights one of the more important aspects of survival, which is using the tools at one's disposal in unintended ways, so it ties in quite nicely with the whole feel that the game is trying to achieve. But anomalies aren't the only danger that players will have to face, as you will often have to run from some sort of poisonous cloud. The running mechanics also tie in with the whole survival feel that the game has, as your stamina is limited. Once it's depleted, your vision will blur, making it quite difficult to see what's ahead. This touch of realism is a very nice one that not only prevents players from abusing running, but also enhances immersion in the whole tense atmosphere that the game features. Tension is also increased by the fact that it's not possible to save at all times, so dying may mean losing quite a bit of progress. Just like the story, Kholat's graphics and performance are a mixed bag. Being covered in snow, the setting isn't exactly varied because there's only a few landmarks here and there to really break up the monotony of snow-covered rocks, barren trees, caves, and passes. The game runs decently for the most part on the PlayStation 4, with a few frame rate drops here and there, which aren't excessively annoying, but they do break immersion. Kholat is definitely a polarizing title. The game is labeled as a survival horror game, but the actual horror elements aren't as prominent and well developed as the genre demands. The game's nicely crafted, tense atmosphere unfortunately clashes with the badly paced and at times cliched story, which makes the whole experience ultimately feel a little bit disappointing. But if you can look past these issues, it can definitely be an enjoyable title because its survival focused experience is like very few others. So we gave it a 7.